Give thanks, loot and fire.
Yeah, man, you know, see a step of this, you know.
Well, you don't know it's Sheena from the big ship.
Well, you don't know this is a kind of...
Meeka Nyota.
This here is truly the major.
This is Noah James, aka Bob.
I tell them that you present for Our Lane magazine. It's rich, rich, rich.
Our lane, stay on your lane.
Greetings, this is Meeka Nyota, and this is Our Lane magazine, Rasta Lane, Selassie Lane.
Tell me what you got your name.
Well, Meeka Nyota, it means strong warrior, and it's an African name. I basically look for a name that means strong warrior, and that's how I came up with Meeka Nyota.
So, how did this start like in the business? Were you influenced by anybody or to make a start or what?
Well, to be honest, I've been reading poetry since I was about 8 years old. First got my book from my godmother called Collective Poems of Maya Angelou, and that was how I was introduced to poetry. Now, reading and loving poetry even through high school, I never realized that I would be a poet, but one day I think I was going to quality at quality academics, and every morning I used to go and buy breakfast, and every morning I'd see this Rasta man, his face is partially burnt, and people used to kind of shun from him because his face was partially burnt. But every morning I would pass and bless him up, you know, and one day he called me and said if I like poetry, and I laughed, and he gave me an assignment to basically go home, write a poem and carry back to him. You know, kind of strange because I don't really know this man, but I did it, and it's like every poem I wrote after that I have to carry it to him and like let him hear it, and it's like he became my mentor in a way. And I left quality, went to England to go to school, sixth form and all of that, and then came back looking for this man because my writing never stopped. Always writing from that day, just writing. So when I came back, I went and looked for him where I usually saw him, you know, where I went and buy breakfast. And he told me that, you know, he's now doing a poetry program on Roots FM. His name is Habakkuk. He plays on Roots FM. And that's just the connection there, how I started to write poetry. So that's it basically.
In Jamaica, poetry seemed to be a lost art. How do you see the development of poetry in Jamaica? Even as you said, you still have outlets, but what do you see as your like your lane then?
Well, yes, as you said, it is a lost art, but it is just like a lot of things that's lost within our culture in Jamaica. It is up to us as people to really keep these cultures, you know, traditions, and maintain them, and you know, go out with it so that people can see that, you know, even though it's now like a niche because so much people are more into the dance hall, and that we still have to keep the fire for poetry burning, you know.
So even in the reggae revival and trying to care about the roots and the live music to Jamaica and so forth, do you see yourself fitting into that?
Not really so much the reggae revival is really, the time is more fitting now, because even, for instance, you had Marcus Garvey, you know, way ahead of his time. If Marcus was here right now, this is the time where Marcus is even more needed because of what is happening now. You get what I'm saying? So it's not really so much about the reggae revival, it's about what is needed within the society right now.
Rich, rich, rich.
Our lane, stay on your lane.